Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Different Opinion. I hope you all been well. Today we'll be looking at some absolutely insane parents. I mean, it's your child, but there's a point where you're like, are you actually mentally ill? This is what I'm wondering when I'm watching these videos. For example, this mom transed her 2-year-old son because he liked to dress up in dresses and makeup. I mean, the kid is 2 years old. I mean, do you remember anything when you were two? I don't remember a single thing. So for her to think this kid can choose what gender they are, you have to watch this for yourself. Have a watch.
Okay, so first of all, I will say that the process, the journey is ongoing and probably will be for potentially her entire life. But here's how it started. So she was
So remember, it's a son, right? It's her son.
designated, assigned, observed male at birth. And until about 18 months, didn't really, know too much, just kind of was raising two kids, working full time, not really paying attention to what was going on.
Let me just point it out. Sorry, that I have to stop it. At 18 months old, apparently this kid was telling her, all these things.
And at around 18 months she started showing signs of like really being interested in things that her sister had and had in her closet, and wanting to play dress up and wanting to put on lip gloss. And when she would see fingernails, she would want her fingernails painted too. And we thought it was cute. No issue. We had no issue with her wanting to do those kinds of things. And then around the age of 2, things started to progress at a quicker pace. And so each time that we would go to pick her up from preschool, she was fully outfitted in dresses and jewelry. And so I will say I was super stoked that we had such a wonderful childcare center that she was in, because she was allowed to, experiment with her gender and play dress up and do those kinds of things.
Let's just remember, this kid is 2 years old, all right? I don't even remember how small I was when I was 2 years old, let alone choosing what gender you are. I've seen pictures of myself when I was younger, and I'd dress up, put some lipstick on, and, girls' shoes, and try and think you're funny because people are laughing. So, as a kid, you want to do these things because it makes people laugh. So, people are laughing. I'll keep going. Does that mean that I am now a woman? The thinking of these parents, I think they're already set. They're like, I want a transgender kid. So as soon as I see one sign, I will push him that way. And that's the worst thing, right? Because what do we all say when you get raised, oh, that kid got brought up right because he's got good manners, that type of thing. You can definitely push your kid in a direction of becoming transgender and things like that. And that's unfortunately what some parents do these days. It's absolutely messed up. And I almost think if you push your kid to a certain gender before a certain age, I think you should be legally held accountable. It's messed up. You can mess with that kid's mind for the rest of their lives.
Oh gosh, I wonder when she put that headband on, she thought to herself, people see me for who I am. No one
At 2 years old, you're putting on a headband and you think, people see me for who I am.
is going to misgender me now.
People won't misgender me now. Kids at 2 years old don't even know what gender is.
And so it progressed. It just kept moving in that direction with more and more things that started showing more and more signs. She would say, when I wake up tomorrow, I'll be a girl. And we were kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. And my husband and I would be like, we gotta figure this thing out. And so kind of for that final test, my husband decided, you know what, we're going to figure this thing out. We're going to tap into this and see what happens. So he said, I'm going to coach a t-ball team and I want her to be on it. And so I was like, all right, let's do it. Well, that didn't go over so well. She not only hated t-ball, she hated the uniform, she hated the hat.
So because of this, you don't like t-ball, or if you don't like a sport, that means that you're a woman. Is this the thinking that goes on in these? How are these people parents? It worries me. Like, where is society going if these are parents? I hope you remember this face, because, yeah, I want to see in like 15 years what her kid looks like. It's insane. And just to prove the point even more, so for example, this is another TikTok, me talking to my 4-year-old about gender and low-key hoping for a trans kiddo as a trans parent. So they're hoping for these things. And you can see here, a survey at a middle school in California. This is what they're asking 12-year-olds. What gender I am? No, I am not transgender. Yes, I am transgender. I am not sure if I am transgender. Decline to respond. Which of the following best describes you? Straight, not gay, lesbian or gay, bisexual. Why are you asking 12-year-old kids this? That's disgusting. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that'll be illegal. Whoever made that would be absolutely fired and probably arrested. And that's not the only one. So this is from a middle school in Washington State. Identity terms. Identity definitions. Common questions activity. How does someone know their sexual orientation or their gender identity? Developing pride scenario. This is being taught 12-year-old kids in schools. Now I know there's always this ongoing kind of feud going on with these drag shows, you know, where they allow kids there and everything like this. So for example, have a look here, right? There's kids here sitting at the table, parents loving this. So I don't even know if they're real boobs or not, but there's something covering obviously the nipples. There's literally someone here with like looks like a 5-6-year-old kid giving them money. But look, now covering up the boobs, but you're still at the show. These kids are still watching you on the stage. Why are you suddenly, when you're close to them, you go like that?
Feeling like a woman.
And kids are loud at these shows.
I've seen this argument where people are saying, like, you know, I would want my, you know, child to grow up and know that you can express yourself in any way possible. Okay, well, how would you feel about family-friendly strip shows?
Right.
Where you have biological women that are sticking their ass out and put a dollar in their G-string, Billy. You know, like you would be weirded out by that, right? Well, it's not much different because it's sexualized. Like a drag queen show, in a lot of ways, is sexualized. And so you're sexualizing this idea of these men. Many of them have autogynephilia. They get a sexual kink out of dressing up as women, and then they're doing that in front of children. And then the children are like, it's one thing to say, hey, they should be able to do whatever they want. People love drag queen shows. You should definitely be able to do that if you're a grown man. But it's another thing to say, let's take children to see this and encourage this, and also encourage these children to participate and to go and give them money. And you know, I've seen these drag queen shows where there's a woman, a trans woman,
and yeah, there's a language warning coming up, by the way, too.
A drag, I don't know how they identify, but with a G-string and high heels, stars covering their nipples, and they have giant fake tits, and they're holding hands with this little child, and everyone's cheering, and they're walking the little child around and showing them how to twerk. I'm like, this is fucking wild, because it's only sexual. So you're sexualizing this in front of these children.
Very weird that parents allow this. Now this is where it starts, okay? In the classroom, these are teachers.
Pronouns. It says, my name is Mixed Cogdill. My pronouns are ze, them, zir, and zirs. How to refer to Mixed Cogdill. Mixed C is my teacher. Z is multilingual.
This is what she's telling the kids to call her. And this is where it leads, unfortunately.
I used to look like you, but dressing like a mess. Nah, that's not me. Nah, that's not me.
What happened?
I used to look like you, but dressing like a mess. Nah, that's not me. Nah, that's not me.
What happened?
You probably couldn't say it any better. I guess just there's more and more of these videos popping up flat across the world, not just in one country or two countries. It's a lot of countries, but obviously the ones with the Western culture, right? The ones that allow these weird things to happen without any repercussion. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think when you're doing this to a 2-year-old and 18-month-old kid, you should be held accountable in some way. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Where do you think this all goes? Like the video if you liked it, and please subscribe if you do want to help support the channel. Thank you for watching.